Live from the Big Beefy Man Cave in New Bedford, Massachusetts. This is the YouTube channel vlog show in which video games, flash game show gameplays, along with sports and wrestling news are the norm. This is the YouTube channel vlog show of positivity, good times, and fun. This is Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. And now, here's the host of the show, the perpetrator of these shenanigans, Big Beefy E himself, Mr. Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. This is episode 211 of the show. It is December the 6th, 2022, 10:07 p.m. We're about to, and we're going to have a little bit of fun. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the final NXT for NXT Deadline, and this would be a really interesting situation, to say the least. So, it kicked off with the men's Iron Survivor qualifier triple threat matchup. Whoever wins this matchup will be the fifth man to qualify for the Iron Survivor Challenge. And it will be, Iron Survivor Challenge is sort of like a Royal Rumble meets King of the Mountain, and all the elements from, like, and it's sort of like an elimination chamber type deal, but it isn't part of a chamber. 25 minutes. Whoever has the most falls in 25 minutes at the end wins the match. So that's the a huge thing. You got, if you pin, you get into a penalty box for 90 minutes for 90 seconds, I believe. So it's crazy ruling. I'm gonna have to go over the rules when I do my event center, the results from Iron Survivor. It's a little complicated. Starting off with the triple threat, the Von Wagner, Axiom, and Andre Chase. Whoever won that matchup will be the fifth man. Chase you pep talk before the matchup, and Duke says, "Your time, Mr. Chase." And Von Wagner, Axiom, and Andre Chase went at it, and Axiom though won the matchup. So he'll be the fifth man in the Iron Survivor qualifier. He'll be the fifth man in the men's Iron Survivor Challenge match, which whoever wins that match will be the number one contender in the NXT title, currently held by Braun Breaker at the moment. And Cora Jade got a promo for NXT Deadline, and now says she's going to win the whole thing. Julius Creed was getting checked on. He says, "You're clear to go." He's ready to go, but Ivy Nile was concerned about the ribs. He's going to get a little bruising in the ribs. You're not qualified to compete. And it looks like the Creed brothers were very upset with Ivy Nile. Says, "I'm just protecting my brothers." So, but then Braun Breaker and Apollo Crews got together to go fishing before their match this Saturday at NXT Deadline. Very unorthodox for Apollo Crews to do this. I mean, I know both men respect each other, and so they were talking about the matchup, and all of a sudden Apollo Crews caught a fish for our first time fishing. So this would be great. Now, Bryson Montana was supposed to base Javier Bernal before his matchup. Match didn't happen because Indus attacked Bryson Montana, and they addressed the Creed brothers. But then Javier Bernal comes out to the arena, looks at Indus faked a hamstring injury to go back. I was like, oh boy. So, and then they addressed the Creed brothers, and then the Creed brothers started to come out wanting a fight, but Ivy Nile, Tam Paxley, and some referees and officials were holding them back. But then Thea Hale was excited about informing Duke Hudson and Andre Chase that she's got a match against the debuting Isla Dawn, which Duke Hudson does not feel comfortable with, and Andre Chase says she's going to go for it. So, and then Tony D'Angelo got a promo on being at the top of NXT. Briggs and Jensen were arguing with Josh Briggs and Brooks Jensen were arguing with Idris Nofe and Malik Blade in the locker room during Sol Ruka's TikTok with Amari Miller. And so Nofe and Blade just walk out of the locker room. Will lead up to a tag team matchup. But first, Dion Quinn took on the returning Tony D'Angelo from an injury. Tony D'Angelo did win the matchup and addressed Wes Lee. and he claimed that Wesley injured him and all that. But then Wesley came out because he listen to me. I got a business to deal with Dijak, and once I take care of him, I'll take you on. Dijak comes out. He says, tells Wesley to keep his name out of his mouth and all that. Stax runs his mouth, and then Wesley took care of business with with both men, and as he escapes the ring. If I were Shawn Michaels, I say make this an NXT Deadline triple threat match. Wesley defends the North American title against Dijak and Tony D'Angelo. Huge moment. And then they have a digital exclusive with Hank Walker talking to Charlie Dempsey. Dempsey says, I'll face you in a matchup to prove that you don't belong. And during the Hank Walker Charlie Dempsey matchup, Drew Gulak came out to scout the competition. Is Drew Gulak going to be part of NXT or what? We don't know, but we'll find out for sure. We found out Scripps cuts another promo about who he is and what he is and all about after he made his debut. So expect more out of Scripps. We all know who Scripps is. They ain't fooling us. And then Zoe Stark cut a promo on NXT Deadline saying there's no more baggage, no more extra stuff. I'm coming after one thing, that's the women's title against. In order to do that, she says she plans on winning the Iron Survivor Challenge. And then Mackenzie Mitchell interviewed by the annoying Grayson Waller, who basically says that he does a better job than Mackenzie Mitchell, annoying Mackenzie Mitchell. And stop hitting on Mackenzie Mitchell because she's married to Vic Joseph, you idiot. Grayson Waller. I'm Grayson Waller. Look at me. I'm the man. Oh boy. I think chances of Grayson Waller wearing a title. I think chances of dating the Australian adult film star Angela White. Might I go figure about that, right? And it's snowball's chance in hell, just to let you know. Anyways, just all kidding aside, Grayson Waller is one of the 5 men to qualify for the Iron Survivor Challenge. We'll see how he does. Then the Pretty Deadly tell their Christmas story, and they said basically there's no one to challenge them for the tag team titles. But there was a shock appearance, unexpected shock appearance by the New Day. The New Day shown up, Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, and challenged them for the NXT tag team titles. Now, this match is going to happen at NXT Deadline. Here's an interesting theory. If New Day should win these titles, they have not held the NXT tag team titles. They'll be the third of 3 teams, or they'd be the 4th team. Because I know the Viking Raiders have done it. FTR, known as the Revival, they have done it. The Street Profits have done it. Should New Day win the match, it will be they'll be the 4th team to pull the tag team Triple Crown. We'll see if that's going to happen this Saturday night. And so both teams are brawling. New Day stands tall with the titles. Isla Dawn cut a promo about their matchup, and Mackenzie Mitchell interviewed Javier Bernal, and Bernal's like, "Don't scare me like that," and all that. And he's like, I didn't want to say that all the time. And then Mackenzie Mitchell calls on Ike Manjura over, and Ike Manjura goes, "What do you think of Big Body Hobby?" And, what do you think of Big Body Hobby? And he goes, "Big Body Chicken." Gotta love Ike Manjura for that. Big Body Chicken. All right. And Thea Hale would faces the debuting Isla Dawn, which Isla Dawn won easily. And it looks like Duke Hudson gave Andre Chase Claire, says, "I told you." But then Alba Fire came out and started brawling with Isla Dawn, and she tried to hit Alba Fire with a poison mist, but it hit one of the referees by accident. And Kiana James was talking to Gia, her secretary, about NXT Deadline, and about how she is going to win the Women's Iron Survivor Challenge. Lyra Valkyria will be coming next week, the former Aoife Valkyrie. Lyra Valkyria will be her new name, and she's coming to make her NXT debut next week. And then Josh Briggs and Brooks Jensen took on Malik Blade and Idris Enofe, but then during the matchup, the secretary for Kiana James, Gia, snuck an envelope into Jensen's jacket pocket. Briggs and Jensen won the matchup, but they shook hands with Blade and Inoue at the end. Roxanne Perez, a promo on NXT Deadline. So, she said, and she says she wants another shot at Mandy Rose. Then the women's Iron Survivor qualifier, Indy Hartwell, Wendy Chu, and Fallon Henley going at it. Fallon Henley was talking to Briggs and Jensen. Jensen receives an VIP from Kiana James, and Jensen says claims to be a date. Somebody get that boy Brooks Jensen. Somebody put his brain in the check, man. I'll tell you one thing. I think he's picking too much down there and not up here and in here. Fallon and Josh better go talk to him. That's all I'm going to say. But then during that triple threat match, Toxic Attraction watches the matchup and talks about NXT Deadline after the matchup, which Indy Hartwell won. Indy Hartwell, Toxic Attraction, says, you know what? When I'm done with the Iron Survivor Challenge, I'm coming after that title. And then the Grayson Waller effect with the guests from the Iron Survivor competitors, that would be Axiom, Joe Gacy, Carmelo Hayes, J.D. McDonald, Grayson Waller himself. All 5 men have a great reason why they want to win it, and then they start fighting amongst each other. And that is NXT, the final NXT before NXT Deadline. And that's all the time we have on this show. The next episode will be my picks and predictions, my PTW Event Center for NXT Deadline. So until the next episode, that will be episode 212, ladies and gentlemen. So until then, Mr. Announcer, please take us home. That is all for today's episode. This is Mr. Lima speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E, tour for Bob Saget production, and in association with A Sweet Buffer Raving Dingleberry Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching today's episode of the show. See you on the next episode of the show. Goodbye for now, and have a very blessed day.